Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Kick Sports. This is the MLB DFS Core Pick video for Tuesday, April 8th. If you're joining for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We will be going over my core picks. That will be one pitcher, four hitters. That's going to be based on a combination of past performance versus their respective opponent, as well as some recent history. After that, we'll get moved over to my cheat sheet and talk about my top GPP teams to stack. In the morning, I'll be listing my weather report, which will have all the games that do have a double-digit chance of rain or higher. But without further ado, we'll get right into it with the core picks. We're going to start off at that pitcher position with Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres. He's $10,000. He's averaging 36 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Athletics. He has some pretty good history versus them in the past. Had 49 points versus this Athletics team in 2024. A lot of the same hitters in that lineup that were in that lineup last year. Cease is off to a fairly good start to the season, so definitely do like his upside, even at $10,000 today. Then we're going to go down to catcher Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. He's $3,000, and he is going against Framber Valdez, or most likely Framber Valdez. He's the expected starting pitcher. He is dealing with an illness, though, so there is a chance that maybe he doesn't end up playing ultimately in this game. But in his career versus Framber Valdez, Cal Raleigh is 5 for 15 with one home run, so some pretty decent history there. He is currently on a 4-game hitting streak, one game that was a multi-hit game during that time span, one home run, and 2 double-digit performances, so pretty good as of late. If we look at what he's done so far in the season, 222 average. Obviously, we'd like that to be a little bit better. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, averaging just over 10 fantasy points per game at $3,000. Definitely do like his upside, as well as some of these other Mariners bats going against Framber Valdez if it is him as the starter. Otherwise, if it's somebody else, probably still have some decent upside there at that, either a starter on short rest or kind of like a bullpen game just in general. Then we're going to move down to second base. You can also play him at shortstop. It's Nico Horner of the Chicago Cubs, $3,100, averaging just under 15 fantasy points per game on the season. He is going against Patrick Corbin, making his debut for the Texas Rangers. Patrick Corbin has not been good in quite some time, so definitely do like the upside of this Cubs lineup just in general. But Nico Horner's 5 for 12 versus him in his career. He's got at least one hit in 7 out of his last 8 games. 4 multi-hit games during that time span. Unfortunately, does not have a home run, but does have 5 double-digit performances. So off to a pretty good start to the year for Nico Horner. He's currently hitting .361, 0 home runs, 6 RBIs. Obviously, a guy that can steal a base here and there. $3,100 looks like a pretty fair, respectable price tag for him overall. Then we're going to move down to shortstop with Ezequiel Tovar of the Colorado Rockies, $3,700, averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game. Goes against the Milwaukee Brewers. It is Freddie Peralta as the expected starting pitcher, and he's fared pretty well against Freddie Peralta throughout his young career. 3 for 7 with 2 home runs. He's on a modest 3-game hitting streak. 2 of those games were multi-hit games. No home runs during that time span, though, but does have 2 double-digit performances. Obviously, the price tag is a little bit higher because this game is being played at Coors Field, but definitely do like his upside in this matchup overall. He has a .282 average, 0 home runs, and 4 RBIs on the season, once again averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game. And then last but not least, we are moving down to the outfield with Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs, $3,400, averaging just under 10.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Texas Rangers. Patrick Corbin making his Texas Rangers debut, who hasn't been good in quite some time, if we're being completely honest. But Ian Happ in his career versus Patrick Corbin is 6 for 16. He's got 1 home run versus him. He's on a modest 5-game hitting streak, 2 multi-hit games during that time span, 0 home runs, and 3 double-digit performances. So definitely do like what he's done as of late, plus that solid history versus Patrick Corbin in the past. If we look at what Ian Happ's done so far on this young season, .220 average, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Once again, averaging just over 10 fantasy points per game at $3,400. Definitely do like his upside in this matchup, as well as this Cubs team as a whole. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, obviously stacks do play a pretty big role, so you don't have to necessarily play all 5 together, especially on what I believe is a 10-game main slate overall. So definitely feel free to mix and match as you do see fit. But if you go with the 5 that are listed here, you have $11,800 remaining, just under $3,000 remaining per player. So maybe a little bit more of a balanced build the rest of the way, but should be some pretty decent value on the slate overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my cheat sheet and talk about my top GPP teams to stack for the slate overall. And with that being said, I do have the Chicago Cubs there. Obviously, that comes as no surprise, as 2 of their hitters were in my core picks. Obviously, they are going against Patrick Corbin, making his Rangers debut. Patrick Corbin has not been very great for like 3+ years now at this point in time, so definitely do like the upside of this Cubs team. A lot of these guys have hit him pretty well and hit him pretty often in the past at the same time as well. Then we have the Arizona Diamondbacks going against Charlie Morton. Some pretty decent history there at that. Obviously, Charlie Morton up there in years at the same time as well, but can go out in any given start, have a really good start, or kind of blow up at the same time as well. So definitely do like the upside of that Diamondbacks lineup. Then we move over to the Seattle Mariners. So Framber Valdez is the expected starting pitcher. The Mariners have hit him pretty well in the past. Valdez is dealing with a little bit of illness, so he's either not going to be 100% versus a Mariners team that has hit him really well, or we're either going to see somebody on short rest or a type of bullpen game. So the Mariners are going to be a pretty interesting spot just in general. And then last but not least, we have the Milwaukee Brewers out in Coors Field going against Kyle Freeland. Freeland's pitched pretty well to start off the year, but Coors Field effect should definitely help this Brewers lineup quite a bit. But with that being said, that's what I do have in terms of my core picks as well as top GPP teams to stack for Tuesday, April 8th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comments section, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And then with that being said, in the morning, I'll be posting up my weather report, which will have all the games that do have a double-digit chance of rain or higher. So definitely I'll look out for that, as well as many of the starting lineups as I can get to throughout the evening as well. If there's any updates to the core whatsoever, I will list them as a pinned comment at the same time as well. But with that being said, if you were brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we have MLB DFS in terms of the core pick videos, typically Monday through Friday. Got my UFL DFS video coming out once a week. That is either going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. I will also be putting out some NFL draft content in the coming days, in the coming weeks, as we do head up to the NFL draft once again. And then last but not least, if you're interested in prop betting, if you're interested in sports betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Parlay Play, and Prize Picks. If you are a brand new user on any one of those three sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in MLB DFS for Tuesday, April 8th.